For more than 70 years, he has been one of the most recognizable faces in cinema. A man of few words, a piercing stare, and a presence that could dominate an entire screen without saying a single line. But behind the legendary roles, the iconic westerns, and the award-winning films, there has always been something else. A quiet mystery. Because for decades, Clint Eastwood rarely spoke about the inner workings of Hollywood. He avoided the gossip, ignored the controversies, and kept much of his perspective to himself. Until now. At 94 years old, Eastwood has begun reflecting on a side of the industry that few people truly understand, a Hollywood secret that shaped not only his career, but the careers of countless actors who came after him. To understand why his words matter, you have to go back to the beginning. Clint Eastwood was born in 1930, during the uncertainty of the Great Depression. His family moved frequently as his father searched for steady work. Life was modest, unpredictable, and far removed from the glamour of movie studios. In fact, acting wasn't even his original plan. After serving in the U.S. Army during the Korean War era, Eastwood drifted through a series of jobs before eventually finding himself on the edges of Hollywood. In the 1950s, he began landing small roles at Universal Pictures. These early appearances were brief and often forgettable, but they introduced him to the rhythm of filmmaking. Still, success was far from guaranteed. Many studio executives reportedly believed Eastwood lacked the dramatic style that traditional Hollywood stars possessed. His calm delivery and reserved expressions didn't match the louder performances audiences were used to seeing. But everything changed when he was cast in the television western Rawhide in 1959. The series ran for years and introduced him to millions of viewers across America. Yet even as the show made him famous, Eastwood quietly realized something about Hollywood. Actors often had very little control. The roles they played, the stories they told, even the direction of their careers were usually decided by studios. According to people who later worked with Eastwood, this realization stayed with him. And it would eventually lead to one of the most important decisions of his life. In the 1960s, Eastwood accepted an unusual offer from Italian director Sergio Leone to star in a low-budget western called A Fistful of Dollars. At the time, the move seemed risky. The film was being made overseas with a relatively unknown director, and many Hollywood insiders were skeptical. But the gamble paid off. The film and its legendary sequels For a Few Dollars More and The Good, The Bad and the Ugly turned Eastwood into an international star. His quiet, mysterious gunslinger became one of the most iconic characters in film history. Yet behind the success, Eastwood began shaping a different kind of career. According to insiders, he slowly built something rare in Hollywood: independence. Instead of relying entirely on major studios, Eastwood began directing and producing his own projects. Films like Unforgiven and $1 Million Baby later proved that he wasn't just a movie star, he was a filmmaker with a unique vision. And this is where the so-called Hollywood secret begins to take shape. Over the years, Eastwood has occasionally hinted that longevity in the industry often depends on creative control. Many actors rise quickly but lose influence once studios begin dictating their choices. Eastwood avoided that fate by quietly building power behind the camera. Those who worked with him often describe a director who preferred calm sets, minimal takes, and complete trust in his actors. It was a style that allowed creativity to flourish and one that younger filmmakers continue to study today. Looking back now, the lesson seems clear. The real secret to surviving Hollywood wasn't fame. It was freedom. Today, Clint Eastwood's career spans generations of cinema. Actor, director, producer, a storyteller who helped shape the modern film industry. And as he reflects on the path he took, his story reveals something deeper about Hollywood itself. Sometimes the people who last the longest are the ones who quietly rewrite the rules. What do you think about Clint Eastwood's incredible legacy in Hollywood? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories and cinematic documentaries.